My question is to the Minister for Home Affairs. Will the Minister please update the House on how the Morrison government's strong border management has helped keep Australians safe and now enabled the opening of our international border for tourists? Is the Minister aware of any alternative approaches?
The Deputy Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. The Deputy Prime Minister is warned. The Deputy Prime Minister is warned. The member for Gellibrand will leave under 94A. The Minister for Home Affairs has the call.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for her question. Clearly, the reopening of our international borders to fully vaccinated travellers in less than 2 weeks now has been very well received on the Gold Coast in the members' electorate of Moncrieff. The Gold Coast, of course, is a city that relies on tourism, but there are many destinations right across Australia that are also pretty excited about the fact that our international borders will be reopening in less than 2 weeks. Now, Mr Speaker, our very swift and decisive action to close the borders at the beginning of the pandemic clearly meant that many lives were saved. It was a very essential action to make sure that we were making sure that our communities were going to be very safe throughout the pandemic. But we were always aware that we would need to reopen those borders as soon as we possibly could. Now, we've faced a very rapidly evolving situation here. We've dealt with a whole range of challenges over the last 2 years, and I mean we very broadly, and I speak not only of the government but also the people of Australia. Because of the actions that have been taken, we are now in a very, very strong position to be able to fully open our borders to fully vaccinated travellers, and we are doing that from February the 21st. And that has all been possible because we as a government have taken the very difficult decisions that we needed to take. And the coalition government will always take the difficult decisions in protecting our borders because we know how important that is. And that's whether it's biosecurity control, whether it's record drug seizures, whether it's making our ports and our airports more secure, whether it's stopping criminals and pedophiles by cancelling their visas, or importantly, whether it's stopping the boats and cutting off the people smuggling trade. That is part of the coalition's DNA. Now, I have been asked about alternate approaches, and we've seen the outcome of an alternate policy, and that is more than 50,000 illegal arrivals on more than 800 boats, where tragically, more than 1,200 people lost their lives at sea. Now, that was the reality, and we know that Labor always likes to have an each-way bet. They'll say before an election that they're going to be strong on borders, but we know they've proved that that is actually not the reality. Now, Mr Speaker, I can't bring myself to even contemplate what the border policy would be of a Labor Greens government. Now, the opposition leader has previously said that he could not turn back the boats. And we know that the member for Melbourne doesn't like the idea of borders at all. So imagine what the policy would be like if ever there was a Labor Greens government here. What a power-sharing arrangement that would be. The people smugglers would be jumping for joy.